Jackfruit has gained significant popularity in recent years, especially among those following plant-based diets, for its ability to mimic the texture and flavor of pulled pork. With its fibrous, meaty consistency and mild taste, jackfruit is often praised as an ideal substitute for meat in vegetarian and vegan dishes. Its ability to absorb spices and sauces makes it an attractive alternative in tacos, sandwiches, and curries. However, despite its appeal, there are several important factors to consider before incorporating jackfruit as a staple in your diet, and it may not be the perfect meat substitute it is often made out to be. One of the primary concerns with jackfruit is its nutritional profile. While it provides some dietary fiber, vitamins, and minerals, it is relatively low in protein compared to meat. Protein is a key macronutrient necessary for muscle repair, immune function, and overall bodily processes, and it is found in abundance in animal-based products. Jackfruit, on the other hand, contains very little protein, which makes it an inadequate substitute for meat in terms of fulfilling the body's protein requirements. Those relying on jackfruit to replace meat may find themselves lacking essential amino acids, which are necessary for maintaining muscle mass, especially if they do not supplement their diet with other sources of protein. This could lead to nutrient deficiencies over time, particularly for those who do not carefully balance their meals with other protein-rich plant foods like beans, lentils, or tofu. Another concern with jackfruit is its high carbohydrate content. Unlike meat, which provides substantial amounts of protein and fat, jackfruit is primarily composed of carbohydrates. While these carbohydrates come in the form of natural sugars and fiber, they still contribute to the fruit's overall calorie content. For those on low-carb or ketogenic diets, jackfruit may not be the best option, as its high sugar content can spike blood sugar levels and potentially lead to weight gain or blood sugar imbalances. Additionally, jackfruit is often consumed in its canned form, which may come with added sugars, preservatives, or sodium. These added ingredients can detract from the health benefits of the fruit and make it a less desirable option for individuals who are trying to avoid processed foods. Despite being a tropical fruit, jackfruit can be difficult to digest for some individuals. It contains a type of carbohydrate known as fructans, which can cause bloating, gas, and digestive discomfort, particularly for those with sensitive stomachs or conditions like irritable bowel syndrome, IBS. Fructans are a type of fermentable carbohydrate that is not well absorbed by the small intestine, leading to fermentation in the gut and the production of gas. For those who experience digestive issues, consuming jackfruit frequently could exacerbate symptoms and lead to discomfort. Furthermore, while jackfruit is often used to mimic the texture of pulled pork, its fibrous, dense structure can be challenging for some people to chew and digest, particularly if the fruit is not prepared properly. In terms of its environmental impact, jackfruit is often touted as a sustainable alternative to meat due to its low water usage and ability to grow in tropical climates with minimal environmental disruption. However, its cultivation and transport can still have an environmental footprint. The demand for jackfruit has led to its commercialization in some regions, and the large-scale farming of jackfruit may contribute to land degradation and deforestation in certain tropical areas. While jackfruit is a more eco-friendly option than meat in some respects, the increased demand for this fruit could lead to unsustainable farming practices in the future, especially if proper agricultural management and sustainability measures are not implemented. Additionally, jackfruit is often sold canned or prepackaged, and the packaging materials can contribute to plastic waste. While jackfruit itself may have a relatively low carbon footprint, the packaging and transport of canned or processed jackfruit can negate some of its environmental benefits. Canned jackfruit is typically packed in brine or syrup, and consumers must take care to check for added preservatives, sodium, and sugars that can detract from its nutritional value. In some cases, manufacturers may add artificial flavorings or colorants to enhance the fruit's appearance or taste, which could introduce unhealthy additives to the diet. When it comes to taste and texture, jackfruit does have its limitations. While its fibrous structure may resemble the pulled pork experience in texture, the flavor of jackfruit is relatively neutral and can often fall flat without the right seasoning. The fruit itself is not inherently spicy or savory, so it relies heavily on marinades, sauces, and other flavorings to create the illusion of a meat-like taste. For individuals who are used to the bold flavors of meat, Jackfruit may not fully satisfy the cravings for umami or the rich, deep flavors typically associated with cooked meats. Even when seasoned well, jackfruit's texture can still feel somewhat unfamiliar and unconvincing, particularly for those who have been eating meat for most of their lives. In some dishes, the fruit's fibrous nature can make it feel more like a vegetable than a true meat replacement, which may be disappointing for those expecting a more authentic meat-like experience. Furthermore, the preparation of jackfruit can be time-consuming and cumbersome. While fresh jackfruit can be found in some specialty grocery stores, it is often sold canned, and the canned variety may require extra steps to prepare, including draining, rinsing, and seasoning. The canned jackfruit is typically sold in either its young, unripe form or as a fully ripe fruit, each requiring different preparation techniques. Unripe jackfruit has a more neutral flavor and fibrous texture suitable for savory dishes, while ripe jackfruit is sweet and better suited for desserts. This requires individuals to be familiar with the differences in preparation to ensure they're using the correct type for the dish they wish to make. Preparing jackfruit from scratch can be a messy and labor-intensive process, which may make it less appealing as a quick and convenient meal option. Finally, it's important to note that not everyone may have access to jackfruit. While it is widely available in tropical regions, in some areas, it may be difficult or expensive to find fresh jackfruit. Canned jackfruit is more readily available in many grocery stores, but it still may not be a staple in every market, particularly in rural or remote locations. For individuals who live in areas with limited access to jackfruit, its use as a regular meat substitute may not be a practical or reliable option, and they may need to look for other alternatives to replace meat in their diets. In conclusion, while jackfruit is an exciting and versatile plant-based food that can mimic the texture of meat in certain dishes, it is not without its limitations. Its low protein content, high carbohydrate levels, potential digestive issues, and the need for extensive seasoning and preparation can make it less ideal for those seeking a nutrient-dense and well-rounded meat substitute. Additionally, the environmental impact of large-scale jackfruit farming, the packaging concerns, and the potential lack of availability in certain areas highlight the need for a more thoughtful approach when incorporating jackfruit into a balanced diet. While jackfruit can be a fun and satisfying ingredient in moderation, it should not be relied upon as a primary source of nutrition, particularly if one is looking for a well-rounded, protein-rich alternative to meat.